Welcome back everyone. So in this video we are going to solve Roman to integer. So let's see. So Roman numerals are represented by 7 different symbols, that is I, V, X, L, C, D and M. And for each of these letters there is specific numeric values. Okay. Now using these numerical value we have to determine the value of the given letter. So let's see rules first. So for a Roman expression to be valid, there are some rules, and that is that I can be placed before V and X, where X can be placed before L and C can be placed before D and M. So these are the rules that will tell us whether a given Roman expression is valid or not. Okay, so let's see example 1. So in example 1, we are given 3 i's and the value of I is 1. So 3 i's will be 3. Okay, now in example 2, we have one L that is 50. Then we have V that will be 5 and then 3 i's that will be equal to 3. So the total will be 58. Now in example 3, this is somewhat tricky. So first we have M that is 1000. Then we have C. So we will not add C as 100. So you can see in this table it is given C as 100. So there is a way to evaluate the Roman expression. So that is, if there is a Roman literal that is smaller than a literal that is ahead of it, then we have to subtract the current literal from the next literal. Okay. So the first literal is M and the next literal is C. But C is smaller than the M, so we will just add M as 1000. That is fine. Now C. C is smaller than the next literal. In this case, both C and M is treated as a single literal. So this CM is treated as a single literal. In that case, M is 1000, right? And C is 100. So we have to subtract 100 from 1000. That will be 900. CM signifies 1000 minus 100. That is 900. Now we came at X. So X is smaller than the next literal, that is C. In this case also we have to treat XC as a single literal. So XC will be C is 100 and X is 10, that is 100 minus 10, 90. Then we have I, which is also smaller than the next literal. In this case also, both I and V will be treated as a single literal. So we'll do for IV, that is 5 minus 1, that is 4. So from example 3, you might have already got some hints into solving this question. And those are that we will traverse the string from the left towards the right, and in doing so we have to add the values of some literals as a single character, or we'll have to combine two characters to add the values into the final result. Okay, so now let's solve this problem. So first we'll calculate the length of the expression, then we'll check if there is not length, which means the expression is empty, then we'll finally return -1. But as per the question, it is given that the length of the expression will be always 1 to 15. Okay. But just for the validity, we'll check if there is no length. In that case, we'll return -1 to signify that the Roman expressions that we have got is invalid. And an ordered map to store the character and its value. Okay. And we'll call it, let's say, zinc maybe. And we'll add the values inside this. Okay, now we'll create a variable, calculate the numeric value of the Roman expression. So we'll traverse from the left toward the right. So we'll start with 0 all the way to the right. And now we have to make some decisions. So from example 3, I told you that there are some characters that we have to add the value of those characters as a single literals, and there are some characters that we have to join. So here in this, we added the value of M as 1000, but we didn't added C, that is 100 for this value, and we didn't added 100 for C. Actually we subtracted because we considered C and M as a single literal. Okay, and not C as a separate and M as separate. In that case, C will be 100, M will be 1000, and it would be 1100, but we didn't do that. Okay, so here we considered CM as a single literal, XC as a single literal, and IV as a single literal because the previous literal was smaller than the next literal. So here also we will check that the second this literal is smaller than the next literal, in that case what we will do is we'll add the value of next literal, that is 1000, and subtract the value of previous literal, that is 100, and finally it will be overall 900. Okay, so we will check if in this sync the value of the ith character is less than I plus 1, the next literal's character value. Okay, if this is the case, then we'll have to add the next character value and subtract the current character value. And now since we have used the value of the next character also, okay, we have to increment I also. So in else case, we will simply add this value, ith value. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are consuming the ith value. So here we consumed ith value and I plus 1th value. We are incrementing I. So here we didn't increment it because it will be incremented here. But in this case, since we are using two characters as a single value, we are consuming ith value and we are also consuming I plus 1th value. So we have to increment I manually. Also, we have to check if I plus 1 character is actually there or not. So I plus 1 should be less than the length. And if Roman value of that character at ith position has less value than the Roman character at I plus 1th value, then we'll have to add the next character's value and subtract the current character's value. Okay, else we'll just add the value of the current character. And finally, we'll return the sum. So let's see. Okay, so our solution has been rejected. So let's just see why. So we have I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L 50, C 100, D 500, M is 1000. Okay, and then we run from 0 to length and we check if I plus 1 is less than length and sync for ith character is less than sync for the I plus 1th character. Then we'll add the value of I plus 1th character and subtract the value of ith character and we'll increment I. Else we'll increment the value of the ith character and finally return the sum. And our initial test case has been passed and now we will submit this. And our solution has been accepted. Now just to recap, what we did is we created two cases. The case where we have to add the value of the literal itself as a final value, and the case where we have to join the next literal into the current literal to find the exact value. So just taking example 3, in this case we added the value of m here in else case, then we came at the first index. So here at first index we check that the value of the current index, that is c, is less than the value of the next character, that is m. So in that case we added the value of the next character, that is m, that is 1000, and subtracted the value of the current character, that is c, that is 100, that is 900. So finally the sum will be 900 for these two values, m is 1000 and c is 100. We incremented I, so finally we jump at x. Now here also the Roman value of the ith character is smaller than the Roman value of I plus 1th character. So we added the value of c and subtracted the value of x and incremented I. Okay. Then we came at this index. Here also the value of I is smaller than the value of I plus 1th character, that is v. So here also we added the value of v and subtracted the value of I, and finally we returned the value sum. So that's it.